You're clipping your own wings, sis. Like, you're getting in your own way.
Welcome back to the Elevate and Flow Academy podcast. I'm your host, Simone, and I'm excited for what we have in store today. So, before we get started, we're going to set our intentions, welcoming all love and peace and joy. Just love the smell of sage. Positive energy to us all, love and light. Thank you for clearing all the energies that are not here for good and pouring it into us in the way that we need. Amen. So I took some notes of what I thought I was going to be talking about. And then God said, stop playing. And so I went outside and got some sun, walked in the grass, and then God put a whole nother download on me. But the main one is starting off with the story. So I walk outside. I have flowers on this really beautiful bush, and I have it in two places in my yard. Whereas years before, I've only had it in one place in my yard, the really, really big bush. But this time, I have it in a really big bush and a little bush. And the difference is, I just saw white butterfly confirmation. The difference is that the big bush is on the ground. So that was just a no-brainer to let it grow. The little bush is on this kind of level up right before you walk into our door. The landscaping was pretty much already done before we got here. Each year, I just kind of allowed whatever was here and all the things. So there's just this one plant in particular that it was just placed in a very interesting space, but it wasn't a big space. So I never let it grow big. I thought that would make it overgrow. And so constantly I'm like pruning it and, trying to make sure year to year that like it looks presentable and not overgrown, all the cool things. But this year, life be life, and this has been a season of my life where I'm not worried about the landscaping like I was before, not in the same way. So as long as it's not looking too crazy, everything kind of has its own space and spot. I'm not being extra around like making sure it's perfect. I'm not a landscaper. Cool. And in doing so, within the last day or so, I recognized, holy moly, since I haven't been cutting it, it's actually growing to its fullest potential, i.e., creating and blossoming flowers. I didn't even know those two plants were the same thing. I thought they were different. I thought this one was just another green plant, some foliage, whatever is nice, little bushy bush, whatever, keep it trimmed, cool. Not recognizing as long as I keep it trimmed, literally, I'm never going to allow it to even see what it can become, i.e., this huge bush on the ground that is one of my favorite pieces of our yard. So it just got me to thinking, God is like, hello, you're clipping your own wings, sis. Like you're getting in your own way and you have no concept what you can become, how much you can heal, how much you can grow, how much love and peace you can bring into your life once you start to recognize you're in your own way. I was like, dang, God, you did it again. God be doing it. You know what I mean? So that's what we're talking about today in a nutshell is getting out of our own way and the beauty that resides once we literally allow ourselves to bloom and blossom in ways that we can't even imagine. So let's get into it. I'm going to flow. That's how I do. It's not perfect. This is not for everyone, but if it's for you, you will know. So, just a few lessons I've been learning. Rejection is God's redirection, right? I've heard it a few times. Maybe you have as well. I had to share that with a friend recently who's applied to a job multiple times, multiple years, and has not gotten it. I say fully overqualified because I just pump up my friends, and I know for a fact she is. And also, I helped her to just redirect her perspective around it's not about you, period. Like you can do all the things and be all the things, but if you are not meant by God to be in a certain place in a certain season of your life, it will not happen. It does not take away from your value. It does not take away from your desires or what you deserve as much as it's God redirecting you. And then in that conversation, she shared, there's also another job that I've been considering that would free up more time because I'm a mom and would give me a better lifestyle. And I'm just like, wow. And then she said another job that also is aligned with some of her natural gifts of being a teacher, because she's just so wise and so encouraging and nurturing and all the things that she never would have considered because her background's not in like teaching and research and all the things. So it's like God's literally placing new ideas, options, opportunities in her perspective and in her life at the same time that this other one that she was leaning towards keeps saying no. And so it's such a powerful reminder that when we let go of what we think is supposed to happen, how we think it's supposed to happen, when we think it's supposed to happen, that gives God the space to start to work and start to blossom and bloom new options and new opportunities. And all it takes is for us to step back and allow and receive and elevate and flow. So, another really cool point, I say cool, but honestly, this is after me like boohoo crying, ugly cry, and then I get myself together and now I can talk about it because it gets real out here. It's uncomfortable. Most days I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Why does it have to be so hard? Why? Why? And then I get back in my space, I get back in my zone. I'm like, because it does. That's just the way it is. That is a part of life. The ebbs and the flows are inevitable. So stop playing like you don't understand that by now, right? Because that's the whole thing about resistance, right? Bruce Lee, be like water. Well, if you're not, then what happens? You get stuck and that's uncomfortable, and you fight and that's uncomfortable, and you resist and that's uncomfortable. It's like we're literally at times making the journey more difficult than it has to be, right? Like there's a rock there. Stop hitting the rock. Just relax and flow around it, right? Like it's so sometimes esoteric and like conceptual, but at the same time, so simple. And the simplest things can be the most difficult for myself, and I'm sure for you as well. Another point, you have to lose everything to gain everything new. Let me sip, because that was just a moment that I'm having to reflect as I talk. So I'm just going to take a second. Okay, thank you. You have to lose everything to gain everything new. You had to lose everything to align with what your highest self deserves and desires. And it took removing in order to be replaced. The new blessings couldn't come in until the old stuff was cleansed out. The decluttering, the breaking down, the feeling like things aren't working, feeling like people are leaving, feeling like you don't connect with people or things or mindsets or situations or environments in the way that you used to. And instead of looking at it as lack, instead of looking at it as something is wrong with you, instead of allowing maybe the projections of others to make you feel like you are doing something wrong, being yourself, getting in a space where you just let go and you say, okay, that is an awful feeling. And I don't want to be feeling this. And also, I trust, I know, I believe, and I allow that whatever is stirring, whatever is breaking off of me, whatever is happening is not only happening for a divine reason, but is happening in divine timing, right? And so everything I've ever overcome has not been by my strength alone. And so I can't lean on my strength alone. And I say that in the sense of therapy is incredible and powerful, depending on your therapist. Friends and family are incredible supports, depending on their emotional intelligence and capacity to be there for you. But God trumps all of it. It's more so thinking of what are my tools as a toolkit collectively. God has to be number one. That's all I got to say. Your spiritual connection has to be number one, because your mental health ain't going to be nothing if you are not grounded in a faith, if you're not grounded in spirituality, if you're not grounded in something beyond yourself. Because in a lot of ways, mental health sometimes turns into your own willpower, your own self-discipline, your own ability to remove your anxious thoughts, or use cognitive therapy to talk your way out of thinking negatively. I think all of that, absolutely, those are all relevant tools. But there's something beyond ourselves that we also need to tap into, that is within us, but oftentimes disconnected from us, or we are disconnected from the source of us. If this resonated with you, I would love it if you commented and shared with someone who you feel like might need this in their life. And I hope to see you back. I'm praying for you, and we're going to do some deep breathing on our way out. I am seated. I'm going to move around my shoulders, kind of release my neck, any types of aches or just discomfort, anything that might feel tight. I'm just going to kind of like wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're going to tense up our body for about 5 seconds. Squeeze everything you have in you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now release. And it creates this sense of relaxation that is really powerful. I want you to inhale and exhale, and I want you to hold it as long as you can, and then release as long as you can. Now continue to deep breathe at your own pace. All is well. God is good. You are here for a reason. You are here for a divine purpose. Your life is not a mistake, and all of the trials and tribulations you go through and overcome is for your highest good. In due time, soon, it will be revealed to you all the hard work that you do and have done, and why it was all necessary. Until next time, it's been Elevate and Flow Academy podcast. I'm your host, Simone, and I love you lots. And I can't wait to do this again real soon. Take care.